Having gathered the information that we need in order to place and create an order, now it's time to insert that into the database. So what we need to do is that we need here to uh, use the database here, database table, in order to insert that into the database, into the orders table. I'm going to say database table, and then I'm going to be using the orders table. And in order to insert something in the table, we need to call a function called insert 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 get id. So this function is going to insert this information into the database, and it's going to also return the ID that will be given to this information. So why do we want the ID? The ID is going to represent the order ID, which is super important, because the order ID is the only thing that would allow you as the website owner to know which order belongs to which user. Because even though the name is you can know who ordered a specific product or products using a name, but it's not enough, because maybe the name is, maybe a few users have the same exact name. So in order to distinguish between users, you need the ID, you need the order ID. So in order to insert into the database, we need here to insert an array. We need to say here array with the key value pairs. So the key value pairs that we want are, remember, in the database we need the cost, the name, the email, the status, the city, the address, the phone, and the date. So we need to start with the name. I'm going to say here name. The key is name and the value is name. And then we want to insert the email, and then the phone, and then the city, and then the address, and then the address, the cost, and the status, and the date. So the cost, status, and finally the date. So the date is the date. And what's important is that in the second parameter we need to say here comma, and then the second parameter is the ID, the column that represents the ID. So what is the column that represents the ID? The name of the column that represents the ID is this. This is what we want to get. So what we want to get after we insert this information, we want to get the ID that will be assigned to this information, because this ID will represent this order. And then we can store it here in a variable. We need to say here order ID, order underscore ID is equal now to this database table orders insert get ID, because this function insert get ID will return the ID that will be given to this information, which is gonna represent the order ID. So now we are done with the second part, which is inserting the information into the database and issuing the order ID.